Now that we know what's generally going on in our project, let me direct you to two important files that will start us working on our dice roller app: the main activity Kotlin file and the activity_main XML file. Main activity is an example of an activity. An activity is a core Android class which is responsible for drawing an app user interface and receiving input events. When your app launches, it launches a specific activity. This is the activity that was declared in the manifest with the correct intent filter tag. Activities have an associated layout file, which in this case is activity_main. Layout files are XML files that express what the app actually looks like. They do this by defining things like text, images, and buttons, and where these things will appear on screen. These text, images, and buttons are called views. The activity and the layout are connected by a process known as layout inflation. This process is triggered when the activity starts. During layout inflation, the views defined in the XML layout files are turned or inflated into Kotlin view objects in memory. Once this happens, the activity can then draw these objects to the screen and also dynamically modify them. So let's look at an example. The activity_main layout file for Dice Roller says that there's a button here and an image here. It also specifies things like that the button and image are centered and that the button has the label roll. The main activity, as it's starting, will inflate this layout, and this button and image that were defined in XML will become represented by Kotlin view objects in memory. The main activity can then start drawing these view objects to the screen. Since the activity is responsible for the interactive parts of the app, it defines what actually happens when the button is pressed, and it can then do things like dynamically update this dice image object. Alright, enough theory, let's start writing some code.